The movie begins more than 30,000 years ago, deep in the frozen wilderness of northern Siberia, where Neanderthal man still walked the earth alongside his closest rival, Homo sapiens. Ao, a skilled Neanderthal hunter, returns from a successful hunt with his best friend Boar, dragging their kill across the endless snow toward the safety of their hidden cave. Before they even arrive, joyous chaos erupts inside. Ao's wife Anak is giving birth to their daughter, Nia, and the entire clan gathers to celebrate the next generation of their people. Quick reminder before we continue, make sure you hit that subscribe button right now. It genuinely helps this channel grow, so we can keep bringing you incredible movie recaps just like this one. Now back to the story, because things are about to turn devastating fast. That same night, while the clan sleeps peacefully after their celebration, blood-curdling screams shatter the silence. Ao and Boar rush outside to find a warrior already dead, a brutal reminder that a creature known only as the Beast is stalking their territory. Terrified for his newborn daughter's safety, Ao sets out with Boar to hunt the beast down before it can strike again. Tracking massive footprints through days of brutal cold, the two hunters finally corner their enemy, a colossal polar bear. Boar, already scarred and missing an eye from a previous encounter with this very creature, attempts to fight but is knocked unconscious in a single devastating blow. Ao is left utterly alone against the beast. What follows is a desperate, savage battle for survival. The bear sinks its jaws into Ao's neck, but the warrior refuses to die, driving his blade again and again into the creature until it finally collapses lifeless in the snow. Ao survives, wrapping himself in the bear's hide to endure the freezing aftermath. But Boar does not make it. Ao is forced to leave his closest friend's body behind in the wilderness. Carrying the bear's skin to feed his people, Ao finally returns home, only to discover his entire world has been destroyed. His wife Anak and his beloved daughter Nia have been slaughtered. Two strange men suddenly attack him inside the cave, confirming Ao's worst fear. Modern humans have wiped out everything he loved. In a fierce, brutal clash, Ao defeats both intruders, and though revenge burns inside him, he chooses to let them live. Now utterly alone, the last of his entire clan, Ao collapses into memory. 25 years earlier, he and his twin brother Oa played together by the sea before discovering a mysterious flute beside a dead body. That flute would become a symbol carried through Ao's entire life, a fragile connection to a brother he hasn't seen in decades. As sickness ravaged their tribe years ago, the Neanderthals were forced into a desperate trade with rivals, exchanging children to survive. Ao was separated from his twin brother Oa that very day, given the flute as a final goodbye. From that point forward, his only companion became Boar, the friend he just lost forever in the snow. Driven by grief and a flicker of hope, Ao decides to cross the unforgiving wilderness in search of his long-lost brother. After days of brutal travel, he reaches the warmer forests of northern Europe, narrowly surviving a stampeding herd of wild cattle, marveling at the beauty of a world so different from his frozen home. While hunting, Ao falls into a trap and is captured by a tribe of humans with painted faces. Thrown into a cell for being different, he watches in horror as another prisoner, a young man, is dragged before the tribe's brutal leader, Aguk, and executed in front of his pregnant wife, Aki. Her screams of anguish leave Ao shaken to his core. Refusing to submit to Aguk's tribe, Ao becomes a target for execution himself. With desperate cunning, he frees himself, smears his body in mud, and unleashes an entire beehive into the panicking village, creating total chaos that allows him to escape into the forest. In the confusion, Aki also flees, secretly following Ao to a cave where, hours later, she gives birth to her daughter Wana. Ao, still haunted by the loss of his own daughter Nea, becomes fiercely protective of the newborn, even as Aki, terrified of this strange, hairy outsider, initially keeps him away. Tensions explode when Ao takes baby Wana while Aki sleeps, believing her to be his daughter reincarnated. Aki wakes in a rage and nearly kills him with her spear, until Wana's cries stop her cold. Moments later, Aguk's warriors track them down, and Ao is forced into a brutal duel, ultimately overpowering the painted warriors and saving both Aki and her child. Now here's a question for you. If you were Aki, alone in the wilderness with a newborn, would you have trusted a stranger like Ao to protect you, or run as far away as possible? Let me know in the comments below. Slowly, a fragile trust begins to form. Aki agrees to travel with Ao, and during their journey, visions of his brother Oa keep appearing, guiding him toward a destination only he can sense. But disaster strikes when Ao falls seriously ill with the same mysterious disease that once devastated his people, collapsing in the snow as his strength fails completely. Refusing to abandon him, Aki carries both Ao and her own daughter across miles of brutal terrain until they reach an abandoned camp. There, using ancient plant knowledge, she nurses him back from the brink of death. As Ao recovers, an unmistakable bond deepens between them. No longer strangers, but something far more powerful. Their fragile peace is shattered again when Aguk's warriors return for a final, vicious assault. Ao and Aki barely escape through a hidden tunnel, Ao setting his own coat ablaze to drive Aguk back. Deeper in the caves, they discover ancient handprints left by Aki's ancestors, and in a powerful, intimate moment, press their own hands into the stone together, forever marking their bond. Continuing their journey, they finally reach the place where Ao's tribe once lived, only to find his beloved twin brother Oa already dead. The entire clan wiped out. Devastated beyond words, Ao plays his flute one final, haunting time before hurling it off a cliff, believing all hope for his people is now completely lost. Standing at the edge, grief threatens to consume him entirely, until Aki's desperate scream pulls him back from the brink, just as the ground beneath him gives way. Clinging to the crumbling cliff edge by sheer will, Ao fights for every inch as Aki watches in absolute terror, certain she's about to lose him forever. With one final surge of strength, he hauls himself back up and collapses into her arms, holding her and baby Wana tightly. 4 years later, Ao walks peacefully through golden countryside with Wana on his shoulders, while Aki, now pregnant again, leads the way toward the sea. Far from the tribes that once rejected them, the small family has built something entirely their own, something unbreakable. By the shore, as flames crackle against the dusk, Aki calls Ao close to feel their unborn child's heartbeat. And in that single quiet heartbeat, the last Neanderthal on Earth feels the impossible. His bloodline, against every single odd, continuing on. And that's where this incredible story comes to its powerful, emotional close. If you enjoyed this recap, smash that like button right now. And if you haven't already, subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you're always the first to catch our newest movie recaps the moment they drop. Drop a comment below telling me your favorite moment from the story, and don't forget to check out more recaps right here on Great Animation Recaps. Until next time, stay epic.